So, what exactly is a commonplace book? How can I make one or start one? How can I keep one? And why is it important that we have a commonplace book? Let me show you what I did with mine. Hello, my name is Aoi, and welcome to my journaling journey. So, this is my commonplace book. A commonplace book is basically a notebook where you write down things that inspire you and things that you learn throughout your life and just anything that ignites that creative in you. It's personal, yes, like a journal, and you can write down anything that you have observed. It's a repository of information you have gathered through the time you used it. So, what is the difference between a commonplace book and a journal? A commonplace book is more used for information gathering and knowledge management. It is mostly a database of the things that you learn. So, I'll show you one of the few things that I have put down on this commonplace book. I started having this back in 2009. It's been a while, but there were some years, I think in 2018 to 2022, that I stopped and then I started again. So this one I started again May 28. So, for example, this is one of the quotes that one of my friends sent me. This is something that she sent me, and I was inspired by it, and I very much agreed to it. So this is one of the things that I wrote here first. There is a video that I saw before by Tiago Forte from the Big Think channel. I don't know if you know that channel, but I started this commonplace book again because I was inspired by Tiago Forte. You can see that I wrote down some notes from that video I saw on YouTube. It's called Unlocking Creative Genius, like Da Vinci and Richard Feynman. Unfortunately, they changed the video to members only as of December 23, 2023. But there is another video of the summary that I will share in the link below. Basically, it's about keeping a commonplace book in this age of information abundance. He explained how keeping a commonplace book has already been a thing in the past. Doing so will help with knowledge management. And he goes on to talking about how this will be our second brain. So basically, yeah, this commonplace book is kind of like a second brain because we are constantly flooded with information, and you kind of want to retain the important ones using this commonplace book. They also mentioned you can do it physically and digitally. But in this video, we are only going to talk about making a physical commonplace book because this is the only one that I have done so far. I haven't tried digital just yet because, I don't know, I think there is power in writing, and we're always online, we're always, doing things digitally. Even my journal, I've never done digital journaling. I feel like it's so different when it's physical. So these are examples of the notes that I took. There were some quotes about stoicism and, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. So today I want to show you some pages of my commonplace book. And I really like being able to write down my thoughts and things that inspired me as a creative, because at this time that I was starting this, I was feeling creatively drained. I feel like I have no ideas left, and being in a creative field, it's so hard when you can't think of anything. I just basically needed to be able to be inspired again. And in this example, you will see how a lot of these are YouTube videos. I would just take down notes from those things that I like. Sometimes maybe too many notes. But yes, you see notes as well from books that I read, like Real Artists Don't Starve. I forgot who the author is, but I think if you want to check that one out, you can Google I would also write down notes from church preachings, other YouTube videos. This is how I like to keep my Commonplace book. So it's good to be able to look at it again and see the things that have inspired you or things that you have learned. It's good to look at it again and remind yourself of the lessons you've learned along the way. And these are notes. I think being able to keep a commonplace book, it's your choice if you want to make the notes long or short. In my case, I had some pages wherein I have so many notes, and I have pages wherein I had like maybe one quote from that video that I watched. These are also some of my observations with some inks that I recently bought. It's my first time using a dip pen. There's also another YouTube video that I like watching from Einzelgänger. So yeah, as I mentioned, notes could be as long or as short as you want. It really depends on what stands out to you as you watch videos or as you converse with other people. See, some of my notes have turned long. These are some of my notes. I changed pens because at this time I think I was able to buy new ink. Some of the other resources that you can look for are TED Talks, School of Life. See here, How to Love Your Work. Then I would change pens depending on like what I feel. More School of Life, Marcus Aurelius notes. As a lot of what I look up online are philosophy related. There was also a time I tried to take some calligraphy online courses, and I would write down those as well. These are Japanese calligraphy notes. Yeah, so sometimes you would see that I would only write down quotes, and these are just like super short here, over here as well. And observations, like how people on Instagram post their journal entries and stuff like that. Change of ink again. So I've written quite a lot because I would use this time to learn, and I would try to do it as much as I can, but sometimes I do it almost every day, and then I would have seasons wherein I would do it for after 2 weeks. So sometimes it really depends. See, this is one of the things where I would write almost every day, which is, let's say, September 8, and then September 9, and then September 11, September 13. There were days wherein I would skip, and it would take like a week or something. Like, for example, this one, September 26th, and then I started writing again October 2, and then skip to October 11, and then there's like 12, October 12, change of ink again. I like the changing of inks because it's much more fun that way to me. So more ink, change. Yeah, so I think this is the end of it. As of December 23, I still have this much. I hope that has been helpful for you, and maybe flipping through all of this would give you more ideas on how to keep your commonplace book. I forgot to mention that you can just use any notebook. I suggest lined ones mostly because, it helps with keeping all your notes, organized and just like not, writing it diagonally or whatnot. You don't need any fancy notebook. So, yeah. Thank you for watching.